Before you take your first sip of coffee tomorrow morning, I need you to stop. If your mornings feel like a heavy grey slog, if your brain wakes up with a dimmer switch turned down, and you spend your first hour pushing through a static fog that no amount of caffeine seems to clear, you are not just tired. You are experiencing a systemic short circuit. Modern life in 2026 has piled a thick, suffocating layer of biological ash on the internal hearth that is supposed to keep your system warm, responsive, and ignited. In the next few minutes, I am going to decode what I call the ancient Iodine Protocol. This is a precise, 2-minute practice designed to tend that hearth and relight the master transformer Edgar Cayce called the gland of destiny. This is not a miracle cure, and it is not a medical prescription. It is an act of biological sovereignty, a way to reclaim your internal fire in a world that is designed to keep you dim. If this resonates with the weight you've been carrying in your bones, type the word ignited in the comments right now to mark your intent and stay with me for the full protocol. Your commitment to these 120 seconds is where the reclamation begins. The method I'm about to outline draws directly from the profound trance readings of Edgar Cayce, the man who arguably founded the concept of holistic biohacking nearly a century ago. In his work, he refers to a specific, electrified form of iodine described in esoteric language as atomic or atomidine. To be clear, this is not a standardized pharmaceutical label you will find in a modern textbook. It is a descriptor from a lineage of practitioners who understood iodine not just as a nutrient, but as a vibratory match for the thyroid's role in our biological evolution. Think of your thyroid as the pilot light of your entire inner furnace. It is small, often overlooked, but it is the absolute gateway. When that pilot light burns steady and strong, the rest of your system runs in harmony. Metabolism rises to meet the day's demand, mental fog thins out, and your emotional tone finds its steady ground. But in 2026, we are bombarded by a new kind of atmospheric static, constant electromagnetic noise, relentless digital alerts, and a collective anxiety that acts like a gray soot, smothering the pilot light. When the light flickers, you don't just feel tired, you smolder in low-grade inflammation. Cayce's readings suggest that certain electrified iodine preparations can act like a gentle rhythmic spark for that pilot light. Users of this protocol for over 90 years have reported a sense of metabolic ignition and a clearing of the mental veil that caffeine simply cannot achieve. This is a theoretical, experiential framing, not a definitive clinical claim. We are bridging the gap between ancient trance wisdom and the biological demands of today.
Now, let's get into the exact ritual. Precision is the only language your glands speak. If you want the system to respond, you must follow the cadence. Step 1. The setting. This ritual must be performed immediately after waking. You want to be in a state of calm focus before the world and before the caffeine touches your mind. This must be done on an empty stomach.
Step 2. The container. Use a simple neutral glass vessel. Avoid metal and plastic contact at all costs. The Cayce readings emphasize the purity of the container because you are working with frequencies. Metal can interfere with the vibratory nature of the preparation, and plastic can leach unwanted compounds into your system. Step 3. The catalyst. Fill half a glass with clean, room-temperature water. Not cold, not hot. Extremes in temperature introduce a shock to the throat that we want to avoid. Add exactly 1 single drop, no more, of the atomic iodine or atomidine preparation. This is the part where most people fail because they think more is better. In this protocol, precision is power. 1 drop is a signal, 10 drops is a disturbance. Step 4. The swirl. Give the glass a single, gentle, clockwise swirl. Watch as the drop disperses into the water. Do not agitate the solution vigorously. You are lighting a match to embers, not trying to start a storm. Now, the rhythm of the internal wash. This is the most important part of the protocol. You will sip the mixture slowly over exactly 2 minutes. Do not gulp it down. You are not drinking water. You are conducting a rhythmic calibration. Pair each small swallow with a conscious, steady breath. Sip. Inhale through the nose. Sip. Exhale slowly. Notice the coolness of the glass in your hand. Feel the liquid pass through your throat. Imagine this water moving as a soft cleansing tide through your transformer area. This cadence is what signals your nervous system that it is safe to downshift from emergency mode and come online with clarity. You are coaxing the pilot light, giving it the oxygen and the catalyst it has been starving for. The schedule recommended in the Cayce tradition is a weekly pulse, 5 days on, followed by 2 days off. This 5.2 rhythm is vital. It prevents your biology from becoming numb to the stimulus and allows your system 48 hours to integrate the spark and find its own heat. Consistency in the pulse is what builds the fire over time.
I must be absolute about the boundaries of sovereignty. This video is for informational purposes and reflects an ancestral tradition. If you have a diagnosed thyroid condition like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, if you have autoimmune disorders, if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking endocrine medications, you must consult your healthcare provider before trying any iodine protocol. Do not alter your prescribed medications.
If you experience palpitations, chest discomfort, or sudden flushes, stop the practice immediately. Sovereignty requires the wisdom to work with your body, not against it. During these first 7 days, I want you to track 3 specific markers. I call these the dashboard of ignition. First, the throat. Do you feel a new lightness or a sense of openness in the neck area? Does your morning swallow feel less coated or constricted? Second, mental clarity. Is the dimmer switch in your brain turning up sooner in the morning? Are you able to focus on your first task without that desperate reach for a third cup of coffee? Third, the afternoon tone. Do you notice a steadier mood by 3 p.m.? Are you less reactive to the static of your emails and the noise of the crowd? Record these markers on day 1, day 3, and day 7. This is the data I want you to bring back to this community. We are building a collective ledger of results, honest, raw observations of your own internal hearth. Why do we return to this ancient protocol in 2026? Because the modern world is designed to keep you in a state of metabolic debt. We borrow energy from stimulants, we borrow focus from stress, and we borrow sleep from our future health. This ritual is the opposite of debt. It is an investment in your own ignition. 2 minutes of rhythmic attention can feel more powerful than 100 dramatic, sporadic interventions. You might wonder what to expect emotionally. Many report a subtle, dignified readjustment. Not fireworks, but a steady return of resilience. You find that you can handle the day without the day handling you. This is the difference between being a victim of the atmospheric static and being the sovereign master of your own field. Historically, the readings suggested that when the thyroid is supported, the pineal gland, your inner eye, can function with more clarity. This is the corridor we are trying to clear. When the biological ash is gone, your intuition starts to speak again. You stop overthinking because you finally know what needs to be done. If you are ready to stop smoldering and start burning clean, type the word ignited below. Join the others who are taking the 1-week challenge. In our next session, we are going to dive into the most mysterious code of all, the karmic imprint. We will decode how birthmarks, skin signatures, and physical scars reveal the hidden DNA of your soul's history, and how that history dictates your thyroid health today. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the moment we map the soul's past to reclaim your physical future. Small, reclaimed habits compound into a sovereign life. Take your 2 minutes. Sip, breathe, tend the flame. I will see you in the next code.